Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Single Guys podcast. My name is Jason, and I'm here with my guest, or not my guest, my host, my co-host, Desmond.
Hi guys, my name is Desmond.
And we are the Single Guys because we are two single guys.
Yep, it's as simple as that.
And what do we talk about usually? Like, what is the premise of this show? We talk about tech, we talk about being single, we talk about dating.
Talk about just about anything.
Anything. So anything goes on this show, and we're hoping that this picks up, and eventually maybe we can not be the single guys. It's putting ourselves out there.
It's putting ourselves out there, definitely, for sure. Yeah.
First things first, let's get some formalities. We have our own Instagram page. It is called the.singleguys.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the single guys was already taken, so we had to put a dot.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Yeah. It's a coffee shop, right?
It is a coffee shop in Australia.
And even our email handle is different, because on our email it's thesingleguys.podcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
Okay. Now, on the first ever show, we have our first ever guest. His name is Hadi, but he's more famously known by the Instagram handle the GeekTurf. And he happens to be a single guy too. And this was not intentional, but somehow it turned out that way. So, okay, I'm going to give Hadi a call. Our first guest on the show is Hadi Bakar. He is more famously known as GeekTurf on Instagram, or the GeekTurf. Hello, Hadi.
Hello, Jason. Hi.
Hi. How are you? I'm
good. Well, I just recovered from slight fever. Well, nothing COVID-19 related, so but I'm all good. All good now. Just
During
fully
this time,
recovered.
everyone's a little bit extra sensitive.
Well, at least I'm being transparent, so yeah.
That's fine. We're social distancing anyway because we're recording over the phone.
Yep. That's good.
Okay, so just give us a bit of an introduction about the GeekTurf and how you got into it.
Okay, sure. I started GeekTurf 4 years ago, and before that I was a journalist for 7 years in the Brunei Times. I started GeekTurf because I was out of the job, and I've always been into technology for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Even as a journalist, I was a tech journalist, I was a tech writer. That really inspired me to start my own channel, my own tech channel or tech blog. Eventually it became more of like a video channel, because considering where things are heading right now, the way people are tuning into to consume content more into videos now. So as you can see, GeekTurf has evolved in the last 4 years from just a tech blog into a tech social media site or tech video content, and we're gonna dive into YouTube soon.
Ooh,
so basically, what GeekTurf is we're a technology channel in Brunei, focusing on tech both locally and also around the world.
Okay, so you do GeekTurf is started out by yourself, but it's run by yourself as well as Efra, right?
Efra is more like a collaborator.
Ah.
Yes, whereby we, because Efra is more in the gaming scene, and he just started off like quite recently. And what GeekTurf is trying to do is want to help grow his platform as well by getting him on board GeekTurf and having him feature in GeekTurf to do more content related to gaming. So you'll hear more of Efra's content on GeekTurf from time to time. Especially once this COVID-19 pandemic is all over, we want to do more activities together.
Yeah.
That's good.
This pandemic sucks, man. It's like putting a handbrake on everything.
Yeah, but I feel in a lot of ways it's good, right? Because with this, you tend to sort of realize things that you take for granted, right? Normal things. So I think once this pandemic is over, people are going to be more grateful. They're going to be, not so held back or not so reserved about what they've always been wanting to do, and just go at it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
This is what I always said, right? It takes a pandemic to really get these sort of like advancements
Sadly,
moving.
yes. I agree.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say the same for myself differently because I found that even during this pandemic, I'm doing things that I never usually would. I'm reading more. I'm exercising from home. It's different, but it's good in a way.
Yeah. There's always like, it's not always bad. So you can see a lot of good things happening out of the circumstances that we're going through right now. So we take the good, and then moving forward, we make the most out of it. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad that we live in a time when we have all these technologies, right? Can you imagine what it's like to be in a pandemic like 100 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it would be harder to keep up with my friends. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Right. This is why I think social, in terms of the word social, right? I think we are even more social than we thought we would, because we're trying to like encourage social distancing, but we're actually more social. We're actually more connected.
Yeah, I get.
That can be a whole other podcast.
Yeah, I have a whole idea for another show. Maybe we can invite you as well about
sure.
How being social is different now than it used to be.
Yeah.
But okay,
definitely, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, so one of the things that has happened or had to happen in this pandemic is the concept of e-learning or home-based learning. Now in Brunei, we have the highest Instagram penetration or social media usage in the world. But in terms of e-learning, we're quite behind compared to say other countries like in Singapore or in the States or all these other places. They have had e-learning in the past, and the people there are more ready for something like this. But how do you see e-learning in Brunei? Like how's the response been like?
Well, I would say the infrastructure is definitely there. It's just a matter of like whether people themselves, the Bruneians themselves, whether it's students, the teachers, or the parents, are ready to adopt to this new way of learning.
The new normal.
The new normal, yeah, especially learning. Like, I mean, I've been hearing like a lot of, I won't say complaints, but more like challenges faced by not just teachers, but even students and even parents, right?
Well, we've seen the one in Brunei, the parent, the one with the printer issue, the babes.
Yes. So I spent some time listening to all these like issues that they shared, and sometimes I just can't blame them entirely. Yeah, because of the drastic changes, it kind of like pressured a lot of these people to do something that's like
never done before.
Never done before. Like So for example, parents are now at the same time that we're doing e-learning, right? Parents will also have to work from home, so there's a clash there. You see.
And they have to become parents as well as teachers.
That's right. So we can see that the issue is really about the people that are trying to make this work. Like the infrastructure is definitely there. Of course, we have the internet, we have the technology. In fact, so the implementation is definitely there. Like we have the tools. Whatever it is, the tools that they're using is exactly what it should be. But it's at the end of the day, it's how we use it, whether we can cope with it or not. So far, it is. I would say it's like growing pains now for a lot of people.
Growing pains,
and I can understand. I mean, I'm not a parent, but I would, if I put myself in their shoes, I would definitely understand the hassle. And also, of course, I think Brunei's culture is way different than how it is outside. Like outside of Brunei, and in cities especially, it's totally different. Like we have so many kids, over there they only have to worry about one kid, right?
I mean, one family has like 4 kids.
You have a mini classroom there, right?
That's right. I think it's a lot easier if the kids are like in secondary school or in college or university. But the struggles are usually with students who are in primary schools or even kindergartens. That's usually where the struggle is mostly.
I think with teachers as well, some teachers are struggling because the way that they teach, or maybe the subject in which they teach, it has to be in person, or at least a bit more visual, and it may not translate as well when it is on a computer or a video format. I'm just trying to imagine how would my physics teacher teach me physics.
Right.
That's true.
Of course, if I'm learning physics, I'm already at the secondary level. But you could translate it easily to say, if I was a student, maybe aged 8 years old, 9 years old, and I'm trying to understand geography or history, it might not be as easy because I could easily just read the history textbook.
Right.
Yeah. So how can my teacher help me if it was through an online or home-based learning concept?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, right? Because as I said earlier, it's really about the timing. Like, had we all prepared earlier, like say before the pandemic actually happened, start getting used to like using all these new technologies for e-learning. For instance, like, okay, we talk about science like physics or biology. My favorite subject is biology, right?
Really?
So usually the best way to the best way of learning it, the way I see it, I enjoy learning it on YouTube. In fact, like or more visuals, like watching videos on YouTube or all these like documentaries, right?
Yeah.
So imagine if we could actually learn it in a more visual kind of way. For example, if we learned about anatomy of a human being, for instance, right, and you get to see like a visual representation of it on the screen. The technology is there. We have the computers, right? We have the iPads, we have the computers, so we should be able to do that. But like, as you said, like this is not being practiced yet. So it's a missed opportunity because I can see that a lot of them are. They want to try and jump into this e-learning platform, but they still have that traditional methods that they want to hold on to and bring it to this platform.
Actually, I'm glad you brought out YouTube because you collaborate with a lot of the technology companies in Brunei. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
So you work with DST, you work with UNN as well?
No, not UNN. But I work closely with a lot of retailers here in Brunei.
Okay.
Retailers here.
Okay, so how has these companies or corporations, whether they're government, whether they're private, so how have they actually been helping the students to learn, especially when it comes to data usage, because data takes up a lot. I mean, video takes up a lot of data, and not everyone has an unlimited data plan, and not everybody would have the latest technology or computers or mobile phones that allows them to Zoom, to YouTube, for all the research purposes. Like, how have these companies been helping?
Okay, yeah. As I pointed out earlier, right, so the infrastructure is definitely there, and this is exactly why, because we will start off with UNN, for instance. The UNN has waived off charges for all e-learning sites for students and teachers who want to do e-learning. So if they want to do e-learning, let's say you want to use Zoom or you want to make use of the MOE websites, MOE servers, it's not going to be charged as part of their monthly bills. So that definitely helps a lot.
Yep.
They have to address the data.
Okay. What is this MOE server? I'm not even aware of this.
So every schools under MOE, they have their own websites whereby they can use that site to do like cloud computing. Sort of thing. Yeah. This is standard procedure for a lot of universities, a lot of colleges and institutions. They have websites whereby They can do like they can share files and projects.
So it's basically like an intranet per se that.
Correct.
Ah.
Yes. So UBD has it. UTB, Polytechnic, they all have it. Yeah. So those are free access. UNN makes it free access for all. So it's not going to be part of your. It's not going to be charged in your bill.
So if I'm let's say if I'm a student and my teacher has uploaded the video material into the UBD website, I could easily just go onto the UBD website, download the video, and it's not going to be charged to my bill. It's not going to take up my data.
Theoretically, that's how it should work. Yeah.
Oh, how long has this been around? I mean, how long has this been part of?
UNN announced this back in, if I'm not mistaken, late March or early April, sometime around that period when e-learning was just about to, was just kicking off.
So this has been around at least from the time of this recording. It would be a month.
Yeah, more than a month, in fact. Yeah,
okay.
This has definitely helped address the issues with, as you said earlier, like
data.
Like data explosion. Like people not being able to afford paying for a lot of data for their accounts. So that definitely helps ease the burden, at least for students, for teachers, for parents. But this is for fiber, fiber connection. Those who actually have fiber connection at home. Those who don't have it, DST has another solution for those people.
Which is?
And it's called the EduPack. It's basically an easy data add-on for students and teachers. So what it does is it offers this like add-ons, add-on bundles, and more like add-on denominations of $8 and $16. $8 gives you 4 gigabytes of data for 14 days, $16 for 10 gigabytes of data for 30 days. So what it does is that using these data add-ons called EduPack, students are able to use it to access OneDrive, Zoom, and Google Drive, and also the websites I mentioned earlier, the website listed by MOE. Yeah, so, but they will be charged according to that particular denomination. Like, it's a special rate for these students and teachers. Whereas, regular data add-ons, or the regular easy data add-ons will have different rates when they access all these e-learning platforms or sites.
Am I able to, I'm not too sure whether this is a valid question, but am I able to add on data for an EduPack while at the same time having a separate data for the normal add-ons?
I believe so, yes. But it's just, it works differently, right? So the EduPack it's only exclusive for those platforms I mentioned earlier, like the websites by MOE. Because if you use the EduPack for YouTube, that means it will charge you with a different rate.
Yeah, I can imagine some children, suddenly veering off into Ryan Toy's review.
Right.
So,
well, this is something that DST is definitely looking into. In fact, they're going to keep on improving the EduPack add-on, because they said they're going to add in more platforms, more websites. A lot of people are asking, like, why can't WhatsApp or YouTube be included? Because that's also e-learning platform, right? So that's something that, DST might want to look into now. But so far, they want to add in more. We don't know what. That's definitely in the pipeline. But EduPack has been around for almost 2 weeks now already. So it's going to be around for a while. I think even with schools to be partially reopened on the 2nd of June, we don't know for certain how it's gonna happen. Like whether there's people are still going to be studying at home at the same time going to school. So this EduPack add-on will still be around.
Okay.
So that's another solution that the telcos have come up with to address this issue, to actually make e-learning a lot simpler, a lot easier for Bruneians.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm learning new stuff as we go along because I really didn't know. I mean, I knew about the EduPack. I just didn't know about UNN making the school intranets all basically data free.
Yep.
Okay.
It was big news. It was big news when it was announced. So.
Well, I mean, I'm not a student, so I obviously did. I just flipped through.
Yeah. I think it was new. It was good news for the students or the e-learning community. I think. But for the rest of us who don't have kids to take care of, we usually ignore this kind of news, right?
That's true. It doesn't apply to me.
We're single guys after all.
Yes, the show is called The Single Guys.
Yeah, but for me, I have to keep an eye out of these things because it's technology.
Yeah, of course.
Technology is happening in Brunei. So yeah, it's good that you guys ask these questions. I think at least it will create more awareness for your listeners as well.
For sure. Do you think? Have you had any responses in terms of to your Instagram or to your social media accounts, like from people who complain about? I'm pretty sure lots of people randomly DM you. So, what are some of the more common complaints or the more common issues they face other than regarding data?
Usually it's the speed, the internet speed. That's usually the complaints I get from a lot of people. They still say that Brunei internet speed is really slow, and lately there's been like that. But you see, the thing is, because of the social distancing measures, now that the pandemic is happening, right? A lot of people are now at home. Of course, the internet has slowed down because traffic is high on the internet.
Desmond here used to be in technical side of what?
I used to work for Telbro, and I'm also in the tech industry, right? So I understand a lot of these things, and a lot of the time it saddens me because a lot of people, they don't understand how these technologies work, especially when it comes to fiber optics, and you kind of. I feel sorry for all these telco companies because a lot of the times.
Believe me, they are doing their best.
They are.
Especially UNN. They are constantly monitoring the increase in usage right now, and they're trying to expand that bandwidth.
Yeah, they definitely are.
Yeah.
Have you heard from UNN whether they've faced a surge in usage?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, have you heard from them? Like, have they told you? Like,
yes, they did announce it again back in. When we first had our first few cases of COVID-19, when a lot of people practice social distancing and working from home, taking working from home measures. That's the time when there was a surge, and UNN actually announced it on social media. They said that they saw a spike, a huge spike, and of course that led to obviously internet slowdown. But it wasn't so bad, but a lot of people actually complained that it was really bad for some people. But again, UNN rectified that. They said that they're going to they're going to improve the services, make sure that everyone gets good quality coverage, internet coverage and speed. And so far, things have improved. I could feel that. I don't know about you,
I've had no complaints on my side.
What about from the retailer side? So we've talked about the telcos and the infrastructure side, but what about from the retailer side? What have some of the companies you dealt with? What have they done to help people or the general public to have better access? Has there been cheaper educational phones or educational computers?
Okay. Now this is something that's very interesting that's happening lately in the PC retailer business, right? During the pandemic, there has been an increase in sales for PC, for PC stuff, right? Whether it's computers, laptops, peripherals, accessories. Yes.
Okay.
So a lot of these retailers have been saying that sales are really good actually this time of this period, right? While all the other businesses like restaurants and travel agents and airlines, hotels. They're all suffering right now. Other retailers are suffering. PC business is booming.
Oh, what about mobile phones?
Mobile, it's okay. It's okay, but nothing compared to the PC side because they always experience stock shortages.
Wow.
Yeah, there has been shipping problems as well because of the coronavirus, right? Some of the items could not arrive in time, but see, they could not meet up with demand because a lot of people are working from home and also doing e-learning, so they need all these stuff like new PCs, new monitors, new keyboards, new mouse, all kinds of PC peripherals. Now, having said that, these retailers are doing promotions as well to attract e-learning markets, e-learning customers. I think Concepts did one promotion for their laptop. They did this promotion for a $600 budget laptop with i3 processor designed for e-learning for students. It was a really good deal, I think. It was an Acer laptop, Core i3, with Windows 10 pre-installed and Microsoft Word pre-installed. I think there's something you don't actually see every day. Like normally, if you buy a laptop like i3 and then you have Windows installed and Microsoft Office installed, it will usually cost around upwards of $700 to $800, but this is like $600, $660.
Yeah, it's a pretty good deal.
Very good deal. And then Netcom is also doing promotion as well for their laptops for e-learning customers. Okay. Yeah, and also their accessories as well.
Do they have to show like their student pass or some sort of ID?
No, they don't. They just put it up there because they know that they'll always be buyers. So
right. So it applies to everybody, lah.
Yeah, it applies for everyone because pretty much everyone has some sort of a reason to get them. Usually they have kids or little siblings who need to buy a cheap laptop or cheap accessories. So it applies to everyone.
I'm a big fan of the second-hand or refurbished market, and I follow a couple of Instagram profiles on Instagram, like Kugel Blades, and on Facebook is this one called Hashim E-Gadgets. They are also facing stock shortages. I can see like every time they post something, within a couple of days, out of stock already. They'll put it out as out of stock. I'm like, okay, that was kind of fast.
That's not surprising at all, because demand for used or refurbished PCs are also quite high. It's another option, another alternative for those who could not afford first-hand or brand new products, right? Usually, second-hand deals, their prices are really, 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 really good, and a lot of them are actually pretty decent, like still working in working order. So they go really fast. Like once people see it, like people just gonna grab it immediately. It's the best place to get deals right now on Facebook.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. As we wind down here, I was wondering, what do you think is going to happen in the future? Like in terms of home-based learning, do you see it continuing in Brunei? Because for one, we've been quite lucky. We haven't had a second wave yet of virus. But I think everybody accepts that once social distancing measures are removed and people start socializing again, there will be a second wave. I think it's just part of nature. And even after that wave is over, like, do you see home-based learning continuing?
Oh, absolutely, yes. This is the way forward, in fact. I think this is exactly what the Industrial Revolution 4.0 is all about, see.
Ooh.
And when it comes to education, e-learning, this is the direction we should go for down the road, because we have these new advancements of technologies coming out, like artificial intelligence and virtual reality. So in order for that to happen, we got to be prepared for it. We got to lay the groundwork for that, and to do that, people are going to start getting used to studying outside of physical school environment. See? So the pandemic really helped that, because if we still stayed in the traditional way of learning, like going to physical classrooms, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's really difficult for them to adapt to all these the new wave of technology that's coming our way. But now people are trying to get like used to like using the internet to connect to get to online classrooms and stuff. Now, so this is just a taste of what to come. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, I do think that schools, institutions are still going to be around, but it's going to change. Like the classrooms will definitely change. The learning environment will change.
Yeah.
With the new technologies that's coming our way. So this is definitely the time.
The new normal.
Yeah,
the new normal.
Which goes with, I had a quite recent discussion with a close friend of mine, and I was just challenging the fact about, nowadays I think this disruption is good in a lot of ways. In a sense, it breaks the norm, right?
Yep.
So in that sense, I was thinking, I was actually, looking to challenge the existing learning system, right? Because if you think about it, this year, to me personally, I would assume as they wouldn't have that much progress in terms of the normal school year.
Mm-hmm.
They have a curriculum they have to go through, but with all these disruptions going on, it's going to take more than a couple of months, and I would not look at it as loss, but take it as an opportunity to break out from the norm. So move away from the old traditional system and use other things to assess knowledge, to assess interest, to assess, to get them into more hands-on practical things instead of just learning about.
Mm-hmm. And I have to say, it's actually a lot better. It's more effective. You see, but the traditional way of learning it should be phased out already, because a lot of the things that the kids are learning the traditional way are so outdated. This is saying that I don't know. I've read somewhere that the school system that we've been getting used to like for many years, they're actually made from the previous industrial revolution.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right? It was made for factory workers.
That is correct.
Okay.
Right?
Yep. I know what you mean.
Where we're heading right now, we're not going to be factory workers. Our kids are not going to be factory workers anymore. They're going to be technologically savvy. It's going to be a totally different work environment than we are and our parents are.
Mm.
So their learning has to change as well. And the current state of learning doesn't work well for these people.
Yeah.
But we can see like all these new technologies like AI, virtual reality. Like people are now learning on YouTube. They're actually more effective than learning the traditional way.
I agree.
Because it's more engaging, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I myself, I'm not a student anymore, but somehow I still enjoy from time to time go onto YouTube and learn something new, learn about frogs, I don't know, or another planet.
I just recently learned about the American Civil War and how.
There you go. and why is that? Because when we look at platforms like YouTube, we compare that to like going to school. Which one do you choose? Which one do you think you'll definitely enjoy? You'll have better time. Which one do you think you'll definitely have more fun?
Well, I don't know about fun, but I'll learn more with YouTube because YouTube like summarizes the information quite nicely. It's usually like a half-hour video.
Why I feel that in a lot of ways, I feel that this should be. I feel that this is a trend shift, right? In a lot of ways, like traditionally back in school, you have 8 subjects you have to learn, you have to pick from. But if you look at trends nowadays, even if you go on YouTube, things are recommended, things are personalized for you. Things of your interest.
Yeah,
and
correct.
My challenge is that should education systems reflect this? In a sense, should they prepare kids more towards a direction that they're more passionate about?
Mm-hmm.
That is another topic for another show.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely can explore that a little more. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's great to get your opinion, Hadi.
No problem.
And I'm very, very grateful. We are very grateful for you to come on like pretty last minute, I would say.
Yeah.
And having
No,
been
not at all. Not at all. It was great. It was fun. I hope all the stuff I've shared are very helpful for you guys.
it's definitely
For sure.
been helpful.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you so
you.
much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. All right, so that was Hadi from the GeekTurf, and he gave us quite a number of insight in terms of what the telcos are doing at the infrastructure level, in terms of what the retailers are doing at the commercial level. How do you find this whole concept of e-learning, Des?
Wow, I think it's a good thing in a sense. It challenges a lot of our normal expectations and current limitations. So I think more discussions is always a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Pointing people towards the direction is always a good thing. Disruption is always a good thing. Never be too afraid of that change. And I feel that this is the time. This is the time.
All
so,
right.
yeah.
So that's been a great first topic for the Single Guys podcast. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at the.singleguys. And if there's any queries or you want to contact us, there's always our email at thesingleguys.podcast@gmail.com.
Drop us a DM, give us maybe your suggestions, any topics that you want us to talk about. That'd be great.
Yep. And this is Jason, and
Desmond,
we are out.
bye.